Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly review Halcyon 6 Starbase Commander. Now, that was later renamed to the Lightspeed Edition. I believe that was a free upgrade to Starbase Commander to make the game a bit more, I don't know, just flow better, I guess. So this is a game that is normally priced around 15 bucks, but it's currently free on the Epic Store as of 2/11/2021. If you don't like Epic, then it's currently on sale on Steam for 80% off, and that offer ends February 15th, 2021. So if you don't like Epic, you can still grab it for a few bucks on Steam. I do also have the Precursor expansion, which for another couple of bucks will add a really cool ship to your fleet that you're gonna want. I know it kind of sucks that it's I wouldn't call it a pay to win ship, but it definitely makes my runs a little bit easier. So, what is this game? Well, it is a space strategy RPG with some space combat. There's ground combat, there's base building, crew management, and there's a little bit of storytelling involved there. And there's a number of different elements I want to touch on, and because this is an older game, I'm sort of going to skim over them. This game has been out for, I want to say, 3 or 4 years at this point, maybe even 5. I think the game was released back in 2016. It hasn't been updated since, I think, 2017, 2018-ish, and that's because Massive Damage was probably working on their game Star Renegades, which released in 2020. I have not played that yet, by the way, but it looks interesting. Anyway, getting back to Halcyon 6. So, what can you do in this game? Well, what can't you do? First of all, let's talk about the base building. If you've ever played XCOM, your base is sort of broken up into, like, sections or spaces, and then you click on an empty space and you choose what building goes there. So in XCOM, you put a barracks in this slot, or a power plant or whatever in this slot, what have you. Well, in this game, you're building your starbase. Now, you don't get to design it, but again, you're going to be clicking on empty spaces and putting rooms there. And you're also going to be exploring empty areas of your star base in order to get the ability to build there in the future. So it's not like your entire star base is free to build from left to right, up to down. No. You start in the dead center of the star base, and then you have to branch out and explore the rest of it. It's not as crazy as it sounds. You just click on the explore button, wait a few days, and boom. On occasion, you'll have to deal with land combat, which I'll get to in a little bit. So in terms of base building, there's that XCOM-style room system. You've got rooms like the materials multiplier, or the officers' quarters. There's the dark matter multiplier, the cadet barracks, the Terran starship hangar tier 1, the Terran starship hangar tier 2 and tier 3, and the precursor starship, assuming you've got the DLC for that. You've got a propulsion lab, a trilithium reactor, so you can power your base, and so on. Officer Academy. So your officers, whenever you get them, you're going to start off with like 1 or 2, and then you can get more along the way. These are like major characters, and these officers each have their own skill tree, and they do level up over time. And you're going to either assign them to tasks in your starbase or assign them to a starship. There are 3 classes of officers in this game. There's like tactical, engineering, and science. And as you would expect, there's also 3 classes of ship. There's tactical, engineering, and science. So your red tactical officers can go to your tactical ships. Your yellow engineering officers can go to your engineering ships. And your blue science officers can be assigned to your blue ships. Okay? And likewise, different actions in these starbase rooms will require different skill sets. So let's say that you want to, I don't know, go to the Officer Academy and recruit more crew members to your station. These are like throwaway people that it's just a resource that you can spend for things. But let's say that you want to upgrade Inspired Officer Recruitment, which unlocks a new officer slot for you. Well, you have to assign an officer to that, and the more that you cater to the requirements, the faster the time elapses. So let's say that the job needs 200 tactical. okay, and you assign a pure science officer to it. It may take 5 to 10 days to complete. Whereas if you assign a tactical officer to a tactical job or upgrade in your base, it may take 1 or 2 days because they are well suited for that task. So you're going to want like one of each, and then you're going to have them go throughout your station, building things, upgrading things, and then in between that, assign them to ships and go out and do things. Okay. Now, as far as the space element, to the left of your starbase is a huge area called the New Terran Federation. Now, you can go to various planets and asteroids in order to set up bases there, and they will generate resources for you. There's materials, dark matter, and fuel, and you'll be setting up like little bases at these locations. Now, you'll have to use your ship to pick up these resources and bring them back until you unlock satellite technology, in which case you can put these drones. If you spend like a day or two building them at the outpost, this drone will just automatically transport and ferry the resources to your base so that you don't have to manually pick them up. So there's a space element to this, and then bad guys will show up from time to time to try and wreck these bases, and you have to stop them. The primary villain in this game are these aliens, and they increase in difficulty as you play. Right now, I'm fighting Tier 4 and Tier 5 ships, and they are tough. In fact, I can't get Tier 4... I'm on Tier 3 ships right now. My precursor is Tier 4, but only because of the DLC. It has a different set of upgrade requirements. It uses artifacts to upgrade, whereas the Tier 4 ships are hidden behind a quest log, like a quest, so you have to defeat it first, I believe, before you unlock them. Or unlock the room so that you can build your Tier 4 ships. But anyway, getting back to the whole space thing. The aliens are like your primary enemy in this game, and they will go around trying to kill your bases as you're setting them up. But if your starbase gets destroyed, you'll have pirates and aliens attacking your starbase. If that gets destroyed, game over. You've also got a morale system, and that's based on a number of different things, but you don't want that dropping. You want to do things that will increase morale, and if that goes down, then your entire production will suffer, and which is bad. You don't want that. So, long story short, you're going to be collecting resources from the space areas, and also doing space battles there. And then in between, go to your starbase and upgrade rooms and the like. Now, there is a tech research tree. And this isn't too glamorous, to be honest with you, but it starts in the center and branches outward. You're going to have the ability to upgrade ships. Like Tier 1 or Tier 2 ships can upgrade into two different things. Tactical ships, the Tier 2 tactical ships can upgrade 2 times. The yellow Tier 2 ships can, the engineering ships can upgrade 2 times. The blue science Tier 2 ships can upgrade 2 times. Then you've got your Tier 3 upgrades and so on. And you can unlock different ship types too. You can unlock different rooms with your tech tree, better personnel, counselor's room, which deals with morale, that kind of thing. So there is a tech tree, but again, you're going to be spending the resources that you're earning in order to do this. I did mention I'd talk about officers' skill trees real quick. Separate from the research tree are officer skill trees, and each officer has a different skill tree. They also have different skills that they bring to the table, too. They bring both space skills and ground combat skills. So this tactical officer may bring slice and dice to the table, while this tactical officer brings phaser blast, whatever. And you can upgrade these abilities in their tactical tree. Some of these tactical trees, or some of these skill trees focus on, like the branches focuses on ground combat. Some focus on both. There are some that you can like choose one or the other. So like there's a commando branch and an advanced tactical training branch, and you can only choose one or the other for a tactical officer. So there's a lot going on here, and that's not to mention the resistances in this game. There's whenever you're doing combat in this game, whether it be ship or ground combat, a lot of your abilities will do something. Inflicts blinded, exploits confused, or does something to yourself, inflicts bleeding, and so on. Or inflicts stun, or shocked, or confused, or blinded, bleeding. It's just, there's all sorts of stuff. And the enemies that you face in this game will have varying resistances. So you have to pay attention before you actually fight the enemy. It's best to adjust your loadout and figure things out. You know, what skills would be effective or what abilities would be effective against this. If you go up against an enemy that's resistant to half of your shots or your skills, then you're in trouble. Okay, unless you just severely overpower them. But even your regular damage will be offset by those resistances. So you want to, again, cater your ships appropriately. The precursor ship, by the way, should you buy the DLC, can be anything that you want. It's not one class of ship, it's all classes of ship. And then you pick what abilities you want across. So you can have 2 red tactical, 2 yellow engineering, and 2 blue science if you want, and well-round it. Or you can do, you know, all science abilities on your precursor ship. But anyway. So there's a bunch of resistance stuff in this game. You can even equip items to your ships to give them passive buffs to increase these tactical things. Like I said, there's a lot going on here. And I'm not going to be able to explain everything in a 10-minute review video. My single complaint with the game is the difficulty. Whenever you start a new game, there's like 8 to 10 different difficulty modes. There's easy, which is Lieutenant. And then there's like medium, hard, super hard, my god hard, impossible hard. It's one of those games that has like 15 settings for hard, but only 1 for easy. That pisses me off. Like, I'm a casual player. I'm okay. Like, I'm getting by okay on Lieutenant, which is the easiest mode. Like, again, I've got my tier 3 fleet. My precursor ship is tier 4. I'm still barely holding my own. There's these behemoths that pop up from time to time, and it's not that it's not a 3-on-3 fight. Your fleets, by the way, are 3 ships maxed. So you usually want like a tactical engineering and science or whatever. And you're usually fighting 3 as well, usually. But sometimes you're fighting this behemoth that has just 2 arms and a head, and that thing is really tough to beat. You have to pull out all your punches and all the stops for that. So even on easy, it gives me a challenge. So, like, I wish the developers of this game had spent more time balancing, like, I don't know, like create 3 easy modes, 3 normal, and 3 hard, rather than 1 easy, 1 medium, and then like 10 hard. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. If you're gonna have that wide of range of difficulty settings, why not cater to casuals as much as you are with the hardcore people? Okay, that's my point. Other than that, this game will give you hours and hours and hours of playtime, and it's fun to boot. There's so many different elements, like I said. Your Starbase base building, your ground combat, which the ground combat is like space combat. You've got 3 crew members, and again, your crew members will bring different skills to the table. But it's not as tactical as space combat. You'll spend more time in space combat than you will in ground combat. That being said, you'll still do it from time to time. So, you know, it's there. It's not bad, but it could be better. But that being said, this is a fantastic game, and I do recommend it. Like I said, it is free to play on, or free to download and get on the Epic Store right now. If you don't like the Epic Store, again, Steam has it on sale for 80% off. I would pick up the Precursor expansion while you're at it. You can thank me later. Yes, it's totally worth picking up. I like this game. Aside from the irk I've got with the difficulty settings, like, this is a pretty cool game. If you guys haven't already, subscribed to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I happen to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.